You can see why Poisoning Paradise has won 11 awards, including, as I said, the grand prize at the Malibu Film Festival. And here, begging their forgiveness for this introduction, are our honorees, Keely, Shaye, and Brosnan. Please come up. I'd be applauding, but I have no.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So kind. Thank you.
I'll do better next time.
You did brilliantly.
Thank
You did brilliantly. Oh, my heavens. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Norman Lear, one of the greats. Shakespeare, Norman Lear, Molière, Norman Lear, Beckett, Norman Lear. A wonderful human being, a wonderful man. I'm so pleased it wasn't Cher. But I love you, Cher. No, I love you. Thank you so much, Lawrence, Alexandria, Tony, and Jeannie, for this amazing evening. As I stand before you all this evening, humbled and honored to be in your company, let me start by saying how inspired I am by the work of the UCLA Institute of the Environment and Sustainability. You are all true heroes of the planet, and I applaud you for fighting the noblest of fights. My environmental awareness and activism was born out of a love for nature, a love for the ocean, and the love of a great woman, namely my wife, Keely, who stands here tonight. For more than 2 decades, my activism has flourished alongside my wife, Keely, who is as much deserving of this honor as I am, if not more so. Together, Keely and I have long focused our environmental advocacy on the oceans and marine mammal protection because we recognize that without a healthy ocean, mankind has little chance of survival on this planet, this earth. Together, we have stood shoulder to shoulder in the fight for dolphin-safe tuna. We have challenged the US Navy's use of low-frequency active sonar. We have led the fight alongside Susan Jordan to stop an LNG terminal from being built off the coast of Oxnard and Malibu. We have traveled to Sacramento to bang on the door of Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger to stop the destruction of the old-growth forests. However, one of the most significant victories we experienced was working with both the National Resources Defense Council and the International Fund for Animal Welfare, and with many others in Mexico to save the last pristine breeding grounds of the California gray whales in San Ignacio Lagoon, Baja California. It really was an amazing chapter in my life, and again, it goes back to the woman who stands beside me here, because she has opened the doors to a world that I really never knew. I had the passion for it, but I didn't really have the voice without her guidance. Anyway, I can safely say that every man and woman down there who was there in the company of these magnificent leviathans with their babies beneath panga boats will never forget this extraordinary experience. It's just an image you don't forget, and it's why one does this kind of work. The slaughter of any sentient being such as a gray whale is incomprehensible to me. Anyway, these and many more have been our endeavors to make a better world for ourselves and for our children. And now Keely and I, we have collaborated on our first film together, Poisoning Paradise, and I have watched her diligently work on this film day in and day out over the last 2.5 years at the kitchen table, everywhere where she can possibly make this film in the house. And I've seen it so many times. I've never seen a film so many times. I don't even watch mine. I can watch them once with half an eye, but It's about a film. It's a film about a place we love and the people we love in Kauai. And however, within this environmental work, there are challenges and oftentimes disappointments in trying to save the natural world. I admit I have often been outside my comfort zone, speaking publicly about complex issues of great importance to the planet and to us all. Environmental issues can be challenging, and we all know that. Nobody has expressed this better than our good friend, marine scientist Roger Payne, who said, "The environmental crisis we face provides us with the most singular opportunity for greatness ever offered to any generation in any civilization." And in speaking of greatness, I can think of no finer group of people in the environmental movement than each and every one of you in this room tonight, who represent and support the UCLA Institute for the Environment and Sustainability. As a man who has saved the world 4 times as James Bond, I'm often asked who my heroes are. Well, here tonight in this very room is Mr. Van Johnson, as well as many of the scientists at UCLA for whom I have the greatest respect and admiration. I hold you in the highest regard for your dedication, compassion, intellect, humor, and tenacity in fighting to make this beautiful world of ours safer and healthier for generations to come. I am deeply honored to be with you all this evening and to receive this award. Here's to working together on many more environmental victories. And now I would like to introduce my beautiful wife, Keely Shaye. Keely Shaye Brosnan.
Thank you. Can I give you my award?
Yes, you may.
Sweet. I guess I don't need this. It's up there. How nice. Thank you, my love. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the UCLA Institute of the Environment and Sustainability for this incredible honor tonight. Heartfelt thanks to our friend Lauren Spender and to Alex. We appreciate you inviting us, and to Jeannie and Tony Pritzker. We appreciate you opening your home to us, your hearts to everybody. It is our sincere pleasure to be here tonight. Environmental education is key, and it is certainly the foundation of my own environmental activism. We are grateful to the Institute for fostering diversity, cutting-edge research, and pairing science with action in the fight for environmental sustainability. We are truly inspired by the phenomenal work of your faculty and your students, some of who I had the privilege of meeting tonight. Today, more than ever, we need 21st century minds to solve our 21st century problems. And we must ensure that students today have the tools they need to become tomorrow's leaders. Mentors are essential, and Pierce and I have had our own mentors along the way, too numerous to list here, but many are heroes of the planet: Dr. Jane Goodall, Dr. Sylvia Earle, John Adams, Bobby Kennedy Jr., and the late, great David Brower. Each has helped to shape our lifetime commitment to a variety of environmental issues. Following decades of environmental activism, we have come to realize that many battles must be waged over and over again. But it is a noble fight, because the one crime for which our children and our grandchildren will not forgive us is the destruction of unique life and the impoverishment of our environment. We all know that unbridled economic growth has led to widespread industrial pollution and contamination of our air and our water, our soil, and given birth to a plethora of endangered species, creating a dramatic loss of biodiversity while also accelerating climate change. There is no doubt that we face complex challenges in this new century. The environmental crisis is one of the most important issues that we will face, as the health of our human bodies is inextricably linked to the health of our environment. And that was the impetus for me to make Poisoning Paradise, to expose the effects of environmental injustice and racism on a Native Hawaiian population. I hope you will all get a chance to see this film about a place we love and people we love. It's been our home for 17 years, and it is our intense desire that we create positive change for our islanders who feel that their voice is not being heard. Closer to home, coastal communities are now being targeted by international energy companies who are attempting to industrialize our precious natural coastline and beaches by expanding their footprint of offshore exploration and drilling. If we have learned anything, it is that we all live downstream and downwind, and that the environment is not something out there, it is our home. It is where we live. Today, more than ever before, we must move toward a new reality of sustainable ingenuity and development. We must put pressure on our government and corporate polluters, including the oil and gas industry and the agrochemical industry, to stop devastating our earth, our oceans, our air, and our water. Those of you who support these values have likely noticed a tendency by the current administration to cast anyone who disagrees with their agenda in a light that suggests we are somehow un-American. Well, I'm here to say that I believe the environment is a bipartisan issue, and we must all rise to the occasion of creating a better world for ourselves and our children. All of you. Everyone in this room tonight is a beacon of hope. You have provided a vital link between the heart of compassion and the hands of service, between learning and action. Together, we are the catalysts. We are the agents of change. We are the architects and engineers of a new tomorrow. We shape and create reality every moment of every day. And like no species before us, we have the power to define our future. Thank you all so much for your support of this magnificent institute and for this incredible honor tonight. Thank you.